Well, Angel and I are on another day hike. We're at Frontenac Park. We're going around Salmon Lake, and I have to keep her on the leash. She's border collie, half border collie. She doesn't really like that, but well, rules are rules for good reason. Anyway, I'm stopping for a tea break, and I thought I'd try a couple of new pieces of gear I got. I noticed Tim Foley, a Canadian Outdoor Equipment, good friend of mine, we were out winter camping, and he had this new stove. That was cool. And then he had it in the spring trip as well, and I thought that was really cool. So I thought I'd get myself the same and give it a try. The table, I'll do a bit more of a review later on a trip for this. Really lightweight table. Suluk 46, I believe. It's a Canadian company. I know the guy. I hope I'm pronouncing his company proper. But yeah, I've seen him at the outdoor shows. But yeah, it's a tree table. It's called the Orkso, I believe. And it just straps to a tree. Doesn't hurt a tree. Even has a little handy holder for your spoon. But yeah, kind of cool, not sitting on the ground, and pretty handy, pretty lightweight. Put your pack. But I'm more excited about this. This is the Trangia Micro, not the their older one. It's not that one. It's the new one. It's about 1.5 years old. And yeah, it's a really small alcohol-based stove. What an alcohol-based stove is, I'll show you here. It's methyl hydrate. You get yeah. So what the alcohol stove is, it uses alcohol for fuel, which is methyl hydrate. Methyl hydrate? Yeah. This is stuff you get at the paint store where the paint thinner is. And yeah, so I think in the States it's called Red Heat or something like that. Yeah, it's like a fondue set. And there's alcohol in there already. I put some in. So here's the thing to watch for. That is the lid. Okay, you see the rubber gasket in there? That's so it doesn't leak in your pack. We screw that on. Don't snuff the flame out. I'll show you how to snuff it out, but don't use this to snuff it out. Don't do that, because you'll burn the rubber gasket. Skin is biting me right there. Use this lid here and just drop it on and snuff it out. Put this down here for a second. There is a control valve. Lots of flame, not as much flame. I wouldn't say that an alcohol-based stove, the Trangia stove, this stove in particular, is great for cooking like steak and elaborate meals. I mean, the one bigger one I have is pretty darn good, but not this little guy. This is or little person. This one is more for like a day hike like I'm doing, or a really light backpacking trip as well. But yeah, let me show you all about this. So you've got the alcohol stove. You have a windscreen. So there's the windscreen. Stove goes in the windscreen. And if you look at it, it's got there's four points to rest the pot on, and 4 air vents as well. Here's your pot. Okay, so it's 500 milliliters, half a liter. So it's a small pot, but perfect for a cup of tea or some soup like I'm gonna have today. And the measuring system is inside. Pot's aluminum. This whole kit itself is actually under 10 ounces. It's pretty darn light, really darn light. It's got a handle like that with a insulation around the handle. And yeah, I'm gonna use a glove. I always would use a glove. That's what I do. But it does have an insulated handle. It also has a lid with a vent on it, like so. So really small, lightweight. All right, let's get this going. So this fuel, I'm gonna time how long it takes to actually get my 500 milliliters of water to the boil with my timer. But also with this full, I've got at least a 20-minute to half-hour time frame for cooking. I've done that. I've used Trangia stoves a lot. So I know I have at least 20 minutes to a half hour of cook time, depending on the wind and weather and stuff like that. There. Now, I prefer a striker to light that instead of a match. I don't have a striker today. Looking at this fuel, let's see if I can get a close-up of it for you. The thing about methyl hydrate is that at first you can't see it. I mean, I don't even see a flame yet. So put my hand over it and pretty darn hot so I know the flame's going. Later on it will get into a yellow color, but just watch it, okay? Here's my armpit. How you doing, Angel? You alright? I'm gonna strap this tighter to the degree, I think. I like practicing new things because just by using it for today on a nice hike, there's a few things going on here. But, you know, you've got to make darn sure so there's a groove around the bottom of the pot, and you have to put that groove into those four pointy parts. That's a small darn pot. I mean, once it's on there, it's fine. The other is that's the windscreen. And the wind's coming off the lake right now. Storm's coming in actually. And it acts as a windscreen, but you can see right now, if you can actually see it, the flames are shooting out. I would get a better windscreen. I would use my Ultralight stove. My gas stove at home has one of those aluminum windscreens, or a metal cozy. Use that as well. But yeah, this is what we got now. So I'm learning. The other is, love this little table. It's kind of cool. It's a little small compared to going to one of those campsites and seeing those massive wooden tables people make to fillet the fish on. It's handy for backpacking though. And I know the owner of this company, he's a major lightweight backpacker. He makes everything lightweight. Makes a good saw too. Okay, so I'm gonna time this. Should have looked at it when it first put on. Okay, so I think it's been about at least a minute on there. So I'm going to time to see how long it takes to cook. Trangia Micro, 500 milliliters, runs on methyl hydrate, alcohol-based stove. Trangia is a really old company. I think it's over 100 years, and they've been making good products. This is a brand new one. It's not the Mini. Yeah. It's not the Trangia Mini. It's the Trangia Micro. Trangia Mini is an older version of something like this, but it's flatter, has a fry pan on it. Like the kit, I don't own one, but I assume people use it like it. Okay. Now, kind of another thing. I knew that was going to happen. The flame just melted the rubber handle. I mean, who cares? I just put duct tape around there. I don't really care about that. I use gloves anyway. But yeah, it needs a windscreen. I mean, it has a windscreen, but it needs a bigger windscreen. If it was down on the ground with more protection from the wind, it probably wouldn't have done that. Okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, boil's happening, rolling boil, and yeah, I timed it just under 10 minutes actually, which isn't bad. I do know with that thing full of fuel, you got at least 20 minutes, maybe even more burning time with one container full of alcohol. Anyway, time for tea. Ooh, nice. Perfect size, awesomeness. I need 2 tables. Anyway, this is how you snuff it. So the flame's there. And I always like wearing gloves. I'm just a little chicken with it. So. And there, it's snuffed. Let it cool before you put it back in your pack. Maybe I shouldn't have put my wooden spoon so close to the flame. No! Right, so that's snuffed. And remember, when it cools down, you put this back on. This is the lid, but don't snuff it with this. Snuff it with a snuffer. Okay? I don't know. I'm going to use it a few more times before I give it a really solid review, but I really like the lightweightness of it. Love it for day trips, especially on a day like this. Storm's coming in. It's nice to have a nice warm cup of tea. Mint tea, one of my favorite. What? What? All right. Trangia Micro, not the mini, and the Orkso Table. Tree table. Doesn't hurt the tree. Always hug a tree. They like it. Cheers, everybody. That's good tea. That's worth the whole thing right there, just to have this nice warm cup of tea in the day like this.